Hey, good evening to you. It's Thursday night. It's time for a new episode of Pond King Water Garden, showing you that water features are fun everywhere. We just happen to be in Minnesota. This time we're working in Plymouth, Minnesota, and we're going to be putting in our medium pondless waterfall. But before we can get started on that, we have to pick out our stones, our paints, if you will. So that's what we're doing right now. I'm with Boulder Dan out of Rock Hard Farmington, and we are picking boulders for our next project. Project number 14, which is going to be our medium pondless waterfall, which will be at least 15 feet long. It's going to look fantastic. It's coming out of a kind of a forestry area. It's a forest of arborvitaes. They kind of look like a forest. And then we get a chance to plant it as well when we're done and do some cool stuff with that. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun build. Thank you for being here. If you have not, hit that subscribe button and enjoy, because we're just going to keep showing the world what we do, which is build water features and start from something where we'll show you the before when we get there and then transform it into a little bit of the after. So that's why you're watching, to show you what we can do with your space and how we can bring it to life with that sound of running water. It really is a fun career. I love my job. Let's pick out some boulders. We got a couple that are sitting in different spots we talked about already. We're really looking for the red, the blues, trying to avoid some of the creams. Cool thing is, if you have not yet, go back and watch last week's episode. That episode is of us building the project. I'm going to have him throw some boulders in for me right there. Got some real cool ones picked out. This one right here, got this really cool pink line on it. Some other striation marks. Once that cleans up, that's going to look really cool. So we're looking for things like that, unique flat rocks. Things that we wouldn't necessarily be able to paint in just an average spot, because then we got to keep our viewpoints from where we're looking at it low. We got to put our big stuff on the backside where we do our build up.
You can do that. That's all just like kind of, you know, there's not one single way to hold a golf club or a baseball bat. It's really up to you. I kind of like that sometimes, but I like to mix it up side to side. Like, you want things to be balanced on your right and your left, you know? So, thanks to Aidan's watchful eye, not sure when this happened, but we had this aqua block in our storage unit, and it only had one panel in the middle. So he caught that, and what that would do is make it a whole lot weaker, and you could see how it was flexing, and it was right in the middle, where we always like to try to spread them out, where we get one panel on the small aqua block on that strip, one on that strip, or, you know, somewhere close. And then you can add, if you needed it to be even stronger on the outside, but we need at least two in there.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Happy day to you. Well, it's a new day for us. So I hope you're enjoying the episode so far. We are building our medium pondless waterfall for just awesome people. We have a really cool setting for this. It's right by a pool, so they're going to be enjoying their time in the pool. It's nice and quiet back here when the machine's not running. But in the background is going to be this awesome sound of this Pondless Waterfall. What we're also trying to do is keep in mind that they have grandkids, and we really want to make it interactive. So we have this awesome, nice flat rock that says, come sit on me, come dangle your feet where the water is starting to disappear into the gravel. Or you can sit on that cool red rock and have your feet in there if you're a little bit more of an adult size. And we're going to have a nice waterfall coming through there where it's rippling through, coming through those rocks in a really cool way, and then going into a small pooling area before we disappear, kind of where the edge of that bucket is. Always wanting to make sure we leave a lot of space for where the water can disappear into the basin. Otherwise that can get clogged up. When that gets clogged up, the water can ride up over the gravel and leave the basin. So that's part of our design limitations, I should say, or some of the stuff we're thinking about when we're doing this. It's not just about an awesome waterfall. It's about making sure that it runs perfectly as long as possible. And Brad is really good with that too. He does tons of detail stuff for us, paying attention to where we might need some gravel, where we need buildup, making sure we get an outcropping before we cut off access. So now we're gonna build our next set of waterfalls where it's gonna kind of come out past this tree line. So you'll have a really cool view of that one. And then we're gonna get some really cool twisting motion going on. So another waterfall coming through, twisting back in. First waterfall is gonna start somewhere back by Brad coming out. So we're gonna get some really cool zigzagging going on. I'm really excited by that. Cool setting, things are going good, and it is time to get to work.
All right, well, our machine is being worked on by Aidan. We really wanted this dirt move, so we decided to do it the old school way. That is wheelbarrow number 6. So just wanted to check in with you. It is day 4. We just got to rocking away. We've been moving at a little bit of a slow click because our machine has been just throwing a fit, and Aidan is on top of it. We actually got into a point where we got it all fixed, and we had to put a starter in there, and the starter, the actual part, turned out to be bad. So now we're putting in starter number 2, and hopefully that solves our problem. We got this bottom area rocked in. We got the autofill run. We're working on running the plumbing. We got our lights in. Got one down there. You can see all this cool serpentine water action we got going right here. Working on hitting all of these angles here, so everybody can enjoy the waterfall from wherever they're sitting, inside or out here. So we're going to keep plugging away at our details, and we will check back with you when we make a little more progress. All right, thanks, y'all.
All right, well, that's going to do it for the day. Been a good day. We got a lot done. A lot of dirt moved, everything by hand. Excited to come back because it's going to be about a week before we come back here. A little more than a week after Labor Day here. Want to see how this grass bounces back. Excited to see what that does after just about a week and a half. Clients already watering back here, so that's a good sign. It looks like where we were working. Well, we have been really fortunate this year, not had to work too many Saturdays, but every now and then Justin and I have to pull a Saturday out and try and do our best to help our team move forward and prep for the week ahead. So that's what's happening this Saturday. We decided, hey, let's take on some of the harder work, the harder stuff to do by hand, which is the yard preparation. We're about to take off for a week to go work on Hannah Dugan. You want to check her out on YouTube. Heading out to her place up in Duluth to help her with her pond. So we can't finish this project quite yet, unfortunately. We're only a day away from being able to finish it all the way. We've got some plantings to do, some edge work, some mulch, and some detail work to do before we can call it a complete project. But the good news is the machines are out. The mats are no longer needed, and so we have decided to do the yard restoration, and Justin went and did a special trip today to Gerton's to get this peat moss. What that's going to do is that's going to retain some of the moisture to this area, allowing for that seed to germinate and sprout. Once that sprouts, it just starts filling in thicker and thicker. So we're about 3 to 6 weeks from looking like we were never here, but it definitely looks like we were here. These mats are awesome. What they do is they help really prevent the big rutting from really diving into your yard, tearing up on our turns. But check that out. That definitely had some sun damage done to the yard here. Sun baked the mat, got it super hot, and that kind of killed off a little bit of the grass. But what's nice is that's still nicely rooted. It's gonna bounce back really quickly. We still overseeded it. We used our garden weasel on the whole path. Got this whole area raked out nicely, and the waterfall is running. It is looking good. A little bit more. Outcroppings in, our dirt work's looking good. We've got our plants to plant when we come back. We've got mulch to do. We've got our top off line to run. We've got a post to put in the ground, some extra rocks just to help us hide this liner, making it look really good. But man, it is already looking great, in a real good spot. Ready for grandkids to start playing in it, sitting on their rocks. All sorts of beautiful stuff going on. So we will be back to finish it before long. Until then, keep watching. All right, so we got our plant in. The guys are just spreading out the mulch right now. Plants are looking great. Aidan's got the top off line in, and Brad, they got that in for us. What a long run. Sometimes that's what it requires though. So we had to go from here all the way around the pool, around the patio, back around the pool to the garden spigot over there. So that's something we want to plan for when we come out to do your pond, your waterfall, your water feature. We want to know how long our run is going to be because we do have to charge for that time. Right now I'm pretty excited. Justin's putting mulch around the Scottish moss. I'm excited to see how that does over time. It was a flat that I thought was worth trying. We've got some creeping jenny, some sedums, some phlox. I really love that pine, the way it's just drooping up over the rock up there. Really lends your eye to like feeling like this water feature is coming up out of the woods. When we got a juniper to kind of accent that turn, that's going to grow into that area and really it makes sense as to why the water is turning the way it is. Got some hostas in the shade, more sedums, some creeping jenny. I think it's going to look fantastic. Everyone, project number 14 is complete. This is a medium Pondless Waterfall. I love the way it turned out. We were talking about doing maybe a small plus here, but we upgraded to the medium to give us a little bit longer stream, a little bit more of that twisting motion, and I just love the way this turned out. The whole goal of this waterfall is to make it interactive so that their grandkids want to come over here. They want to splash in the stream. They want to come up and sit on some of these big boulders, dangle their feet in the water, and just have a fun time here. They've already got a great spot for entertaining with the pool. They've got a trampoline. They've got a bunch of toys. So why not make it so that we can really pull in everything together and bring this area to life with that sound of running water. So we've got that. We've got a 4,000 to 8,000 gallon an hour pump running. We have 500 water lights in this. And I think the backdrop is just fantastic. For us to be able to have an opportunity to take what was here, that old pond, that do-it-yourself pond, could see that there were definitely some different aspects versus what we do. I think they had a great location. I mean, all the windows are looking out at it. So they did some things really well. And that led it for us to come in here and totally transform the area. So without further ado, project 14 is complete. Let's check this thing out. I just love it. Content blocking.